one is, but I should give out like freaking awards to the people who are on right now because clearly they're the ones that are going to be crushing it. Special announcement, obviously, this weekend is the Christmas party on Saturday. Yankee Swap, bring something for it, bring a dish. We have some really fun cocktails and cocktail names for you guys. We have a few games to play, some giveaways. We have like a really fun little like playlist. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to bring my ring light. There's cute places you can take pictures, get all dressed fancy, look good. It's going to be fun. Bring people with you. Okay, so I don't know what just happened. Haha. Bring all the yummy food. Yes. Cat just wants the food. Okay. All right. So, I have been thinking and I was like, you know what? I don't want to put together like a call for tonight. I'd rather just like chat, talk things that are working, talk ideas, kind of like a little coffee talk, but at night. And so I have a few things that I wanted to share with you guys and some ideas that I wanted to share with you. But if anybody has things that's working well for them, they can feel free to jump in too and share. You know, it's the 10th. We definitely still have time for every single one of us to be in Success Club. I know that December for myself last year was the biggest month that I've ever had in my entire career. So while some people will sit there and tell you, oh, December's hard because of the holidays, that's a bunch of crap. If you put the work in, then you will see the results. So if you're showing up every single day for yourself, for your goals, for your business, you're going to see the results happen in your bank account, in your Success Club numbers, in your team, and all of that jazz. So one of the things obviously that we've been focusing on so much lately is Instagram. And I am going to talk a little bit about some Instagram stuff, but I wanted to talk first about like sneak peeks. So I'm trying out something a little bit different this month. On Wednesday, I'm going to do a sneak peek and I'm going to do a 3-day one. I know like back in the day before many of you were here, we did like 5-day ones and then we did 3-day ones and then we shortened them to a day and then we shortened them to like an hour. And I find that when I invite somebody to the hour one, it's a lot of information all at once and it's all like minimally covered because it has to be fast. And then on top of that, I'll get a lot of people like, oh, I can't jump in at that time. And so then they don't check back later or they feel as if somehow like the information isn't as great because they're checking in after it's like done and it's not live anymore. So with this group, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live for the very first post that's in there, just to tell them kind of like what to expect in the group, but also what my expectations for them are. And something that I was listening to a call by Mandy Kai today, and I really loved this tip that she gave, but she said that she tries to get as many people as possible into her sneak peek as possible because it affects the energy of the group. We've all talked about that. Like it gets to show the community a bit more when everybody's in there. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of energy, and there's a lot of that going on. So she tries to get as many people in there as possible. But the second thing that she does is during that introduction call, she does like a little expectation for them, which is like, I'm only taking coaches in this group that show up and are engaging in these posts because that's telling me what kind of coach you're going to be. So if you're in this group and you're just going to be a wallflower and sit back, like I'm probably not going to sign you up. It's almost as if she's giving them like, I'm not taking everybody, you know? So it sets the expectation right then and there that like you have to work for your spot on her team. And so then she's like, you know, making it fun. She's giving the information that they need and stuff like that. But they have to show up and start engaging in those posts, liking those posts, asking questions on them, commenting on them so that they can get like a spot on her team. So I'm going to try that out. The other thing is that when she gets them started afterwards, because she's recruiting mass numbers, you guys, like last year she was recruiting about 10 to 12 coaches a month, which is still pretty good. But now she's like recruiting like 60 to 65 coaches a month. And she said one of the major shifts that's happened for her is just the way that she's posting on her social media and the way that she's running these sneak peeks and setting those expectations. Somebody had a really great question. They're like, okay, so if you're signing 60 to 65 people on your team a month, how are you getting them started? And so this is where I got another tip from the video. And I'm not saying go out there and sign 60 to 65 people a month. Like obviously if you can, awesome, fucking do it. But like you can be successful in this business signing 5 to 10 people. right? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, you suck if you don't have those numbers. I don't have those numbers. And clearly you could be successful without them. There's people who are top 10 coaches who only make around SE10 a month. So, and they're millionaires. So keep that in mind. But what I loved about this, and this is what the takeaway is she says, I just send them a little PDF. That's it. And it says, pick a workout. What does it say? Hold on. I'll tell you exactly what it says. It says, go public, choose a workout, show me. That's it. So it has the 3 things, 1, 2, 3. And it'll, obviously it's a PDF. It probably has a little bit more information in there than just that. But those are the 3 steps. So 1, go public, meaning put your freaking first post up. Like, why did you just become a coach? Why are you so excited? Like, what are you doing? What's going on? 2, choose a freaking program. Because if you can't even take the time to go choose what program you're going to start with, probably you should not get my time to help you start coaching. And then show me. So message me and tell me what you chose. And she goes, and then from there, she goes, that's kind of their get started right. She goes, then from there, I'll put them into our team training or, that sort of thing. Because, that's what they've shown that they've taken at least those first few steps. I'm not going to be dragging them. I'm not going to be like checking in with them. I'm not going to be making sure that they went through the training and all of that jazz. Shannon, I know you're on here or you were on here. I don't know if you're still on here. I think you were, but maybe you dropped off. She had a coach the other day that went through the training. I don't know if she's on here. And she went on Instagram Live, and afterwards she posted that she did it, like, and had a screenshot of like the training's complete from like the training website, which I thought was super cute. So that's how she's getting them started quickly. But then she also, Kaylin, that was you. And so then she also said that, from there, she's not a big hand holder, like with her coaches. If they ask her questions and it's something that they could look up in the FAQ, she doesn't even just send them the link to the FAQ. She takes a screenshot of teambeachbody.com on that site with her typing in what it is in that search bar and then it popping up. And so she's teaching them right there to be resourceful. She goes, because if I'm signing people up with the expectation that they have to engage and this is their job and like this is what they need to do this, and then I'm making them take those first steps before I even point them in the right direction. And then they do those first steps. And then they're asking me questions. That's fine that they're asking me questions, but I'm going to teach them how to answer those questions in a way that makes them resourceful. Because if you can create resourceful coaches, you create leaders, not just people who are dependent on you. And then you have a team of people running with you instead of people you're dragging behind you, which sucks. So I loved those tips that she gave, and I am going to try out a group like that. So I'm trying mine out on Wednesday. I'm kind of just Christina Battaglia and I have been talking about it. We're kind of just going to do like a little test run, and then I'm going to figure out what worked, what didn't, and then I'm going to help and pass it on to you guys. Sound good? Good. Excellent. Also, I think that we really need to, whether we figure this out or not, we really do need to be doing at least 2 sneak peeks into coaching or info sessions or whatever the hell you want to call them a month. We used to do them all the time. We haven't been doing them. Who has seen like the recruiting numbers of their builders go down since we stopped doing them? Me. So the other thing is that I had an aha moment today as well, that I've stopped talking about coaching as much. So I started thinking back, when was my most successful year in this business? And what was I doing differently then? And the thing that I was doing a lot differently then was I was not just focusing on challenge groups, and I was not just focusing on health and fitness. I was focusing on coaching and what coaching has done for me. And I was screaming it from the rooftop 24/7, because that is the part of this business that has changed my life the most. And so she was also talking about that in the call today, and talking about different things it sparked me to start thinking, okay, well, this allowed me to quit my job only 6 months in. It allows me to do like the little things in life. Like I can just get up and like grab an apple from my fridge, or I can go, take a drive with George real quick, or go for a walk real quick. It doesn't have to be like the big things, you guys. It's the little things. I can work from my computer in my bed. I can watch a movie while I'm getting stuff done. Like I can do a Zoom call in the middle of the day with some friends and work with them. I can go meet them at a coffee shop. Like it's all those little things. But if you're not there yet, like say you have a 9-to-5 that you haven't left yet, there's still things you can talk about. Like you can take pictures of yourself in your cube at work and talk about how you're working so that this is not going to be your life a year from now, right? Like you can talk about that. Like you might see me here now, but a year from now, this is what I'm working towards. And you can start painting like the vision of where you want to go and start talking about that. But you can also talk about all of the other things. Like Maybe it's that you don't have to put a doctor's appointment in the middle of the day, which is actually your hair appointment, Sam. And you can make it so that you just go to your hair appointment and you don't have to make an excuse about it, right? Like that's something that you can post about. Like, so, you know, there's all of those sorts of things, just like not being under somebody else's schedule. If those are things that light your fire now and like you think about them and that's something you want down the road, then talk about how you're going to achieve those and what you're doing to get there. Talk about the community, talk about any of those things. And then, you know, and this is something else that I was thinking about, is that your stories are amazing to show your day, right? Like people watch them because they want to know what the hell is going on with you. Like if you ever look at your stories and they're boring you, they're probably boring other people as well. And if you're ever looking at your stories and like you have less than 5, then you're actually not working your business. If you have less than 5 stories up there, then you're not actually being consistent in your business, and you need to start being consistent if you want to see those consistent results. So with that said, it's your daily routine. You guys, you think that you're boring, you're not. People want to know what the hell you are doing. It's so fucking weird, but they really do. Like, they want to know that you had coffee. They want to know what you're reading. They want to know if you, like, just tripped in the kitchen. They want to know if you, like, ran an errand. Like, they just want to know everything. So don't feel like you have to create something, but just share what you're doing every single day. And it is work at first. It is work to think, like, oh, I should be taking a story right now, right? Like, I just thought of it right now. I should be taking a story right now of this damn call. See? Boom. But, like, it is work at first, but it becomes something that's a habit. And so you want to make sure that you just start creating that habit just like you do with your workouts. On a little team call with my people. See? Boom. That was it. Took 2 seconds. And so, like, what I love about that is in your story, you can do the mundane and it's actually interesting to people. You can drink your Energizer, you can do your workout, you can drink your shake, you can do whatever, right? You can post your workout outfit of the day and all that jazz. And then you move on and you talk about everything else that you're doing, even the work stuff. In fact, 95% of it should be the work stuff or the lifestyle stuff that Beachbody has provided you or that it is providing you that you want to have. And then your actual Instagram feed, like the actual feed, think about that as like, not how can I make this so I'm not just like every other Beachbody coach, right? How do I make my feed me, but talk about my struggles in a way that's positive? How do I make them about my day and how my day is affected by this? How do I make them so that, you know, I don't just look like I'm trying to be an Instagram model in all of my pictures, but it's me and I'm smiling and they're bright and they're crisp and they're clean and they're matching and they're good, right? Like, how do you do all of that? That's what you should be doing on a daily basis. What else? I had a couple notes for you guys. Consistency on IG stories is like the number one thing to be doing. Messaging those people who watch your stories. Guys, if you have like a really good invite post, throw some money at it. Promote your post on Instagram. There's nothing wrong with reinvesting in your business. Use Light Growers. If you're not using Light Growers yet, spend some money and use Light Growers to help build your Instagram following. I don't know if any of you have tried Stim Social. That will help build it as well. For me, I didn't love that it was following other people that I wasn't following, that I didn't want to follow. So like that like tweaked me out, so I stopped it. But I use Light Growers on a consistent basis, and it literally grows my account by probably about, I would say on average, probably about 500 followers a month that are good followers, that are people who I would actually be friends with. So it's working very well for me. The other thing that I've been doing, and I know that Raina talked about it on the Power Hour that we did the other day, is yes, I look up a hashtag to find somebody, but I don't just look up that hashtag and then like go follow the people who are using that hashtag. I'll follow like a few of them, but then I'll go and I'll look at the people that they're following, right? And I'll start looking for people under there and I'll be like, okay, what hashtags are they using? Or can I just follow those people? And so I'll start doing it that way. And then I will leave them in my account. I don't just like, if they don't follow me right away, I won't like unfollow them immediately. I leave them in there for like a week or so, because that way their stuff's going to pop up in my feed and I can like and comment on it. And then they might turn around and follow me. But like if somebody doesn't follow you just because you sent them a follow request, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it's really super easy to just miss the fact that somebody followed you today. Like, yes, you get an alert, but you also get an alert that everybody liked your post, and then you also get an alert if somebody commented, and then you also get an alert, like you get tons of alerts, right? So you could miss that somebody followed you and not go and check out who they were and see that they're actually somebody that you'd like to be friends with. So I figure other people feel that way too. So if I'm around and I'm liking on their stuff and commenting on their stuff for like a week or so, and they're seeing that, then they'll probably follow me back. Now, if they haven't followed me back in over a week and I've been engaging, then I unfollow them because clearly we're not going to have a relationship. The other thing I've been doing, you guys, is that if I see somebody out there who looks like they're super into fitness and like they're crushing it on their Instagram and stuff, I will literally just message them directly and say, tell me you're a freaking coach, because they should be. And if they write back to me and they say no, or I don't know what that is, or like any of those things, then I'm just like, here's what it is. I have a sneak peek happening on this day. Do you want in? That's it. I'm like, you make money by doing this, yada, yada, yada. Do you want in? You're already doing everything you need to do already. So that's an easy way to reach out to those people who you might look at right now going, oh, they'd be amazing coaches, but you're kind of scared to message and you don't want to message and be like, hey, do you want in my challenge group? Because you're like, well, like clearly you're freaking crushing it, you know? People do not have to start with the programs. Raina signed up without ever trying a program or doing Shakeology. Christina Battaglia, also same thing, signed up without ever trying any of the products or Shakeology. And now they're both crushing. All right, what else? I think that's it for things that I had, is just like things that I've come across lately, thought about, things that I realized I should be doing more of, that sort of thing. Last night I was just sending out a message. I still do donuts on Facebook too, you guys. I'm not just on Instagram. Last night I was doing some donuts on Facebook, and within an hour I had sent out 158 donuts while Ryan and I were laying on the couch watching TV. Super duper easy. And in that time I had 7 people message me back saying that they were interested. So I was laying on the couch watching TV, drinking wine, and I have 7 people interested now. So I have a giant follow-up list. I will tell you right now, during the holiday season is the time where you have to be the biggest pain in the ass about follow-ups. Follow up until you're blue in the face. But if you do all of those things, then you can crush it. Anybody else doing things that are working for them, want to share, have questions, thoughts? So Renee and I just put together a little flash sale for our team, just because like we did it last time, we did like the gift card giveaway. So I'm inviting to Transform 20 directly. And then my messages are kind of like to both, but directly inviting to Transform 20. And then if I get the price objection, then talking about the flash sale, but also in my invites, I'm kind of talking about taking care of yourself while you're also taking care of somebody else. So like we're giving gift cards, and I'm not stumbling over my words in my invite, but we're giving out gift cards so that, you know, you're not spending all of your Christmas money on that you were going to spend on your kid. You know, you're getting some of it back. You can still spend your money on them, and, you know, and then you don't have that noble excuse like, oh, well, I need to buy $87,000 worth of presents for my kids. Like, you're getting a gift card. You can still buy your stuff, but take care of yourself as well. So we're going to do that and do like a big giveaway too this week. Nice. Love that idea. I know, Meg, you ran a flash sale as well, right? Or where you didn't yet, but you're going to?
We're running it Thursday night through Saturday at midnight and then we're going to do the Sunday morning big drawing. But similar to what Mariah's doing.
Yeah.
What worked for our team, I think, Lauren, I think it was 2 weeks ago. We did our challenge group there's like tons of energy in there. So what we did this time was, instead of running a free group where we would have to put more energy into creating something new, we simply created an invite to have people join the challenge group for 3 days to see what it's all about. And it worked really well. And then once they said yes, we sent them the direct link to join the group. So we were finding that people weren't responding to the invite, but they were adding themselves into the group, because then we had to approve them. So we had 54 people as guests in the group. And from there, in those 3 days, 9 people were signed. So we celebrated the crap out of everybody who signed up to create that FOMO. when everybody was welcomed in that first day, we kind of created a graphic that listed everybody's name that said, welcome these guys. And like everybody jumped in and like welcomed them. It was like, you need to stay in here with us. Like everybody, it was kind of cool to watch. And yeah, so did that at the end of November. So I think we're going to do it again between Christmas and New Year's. We're going to do it for 3 days to give people that, like, they're going to want to in on this, like, starting the 1st. Yeah.
Totes my goats. What else?
Meg and I were just talking before the call about, some of us who are trying to hit rank goals and stuff, and we were talking about having some inactive people and talking to them about Transform 20, but I hadn't even really thought about it. But even just like getting them to do the accessory pack, I was going to just send them a few options like, hey, like beach bars, great stocking stuffer. I was going to send them like only the 3-pack option, whatever's going to get us the 50 PV. But yeah, Meg brought up the good point of the accessory pack for Transform 20 if they're already signed up, as a coach, and you just need to get them active to hit your rank goals or whatever.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Oh, 54 PV for the accessory bundle. What is it for a coach? Like $69 or something like that? I think so. Like around there. I think that's all I got for you guys, unless you want to add more.
I'll add one more thing. So right now I'm going back to everybody who was interested in 80-day obsession and Lift 4 that didn't actually do it, and inviting them to Transform 20.
Yep.
So you can easily just go into the Snoop groups, or if you have a separate list, paper list, Excel, wherever it is, Teamsy, it's a perfect way. Clearly they had goals in the past, so maybe it was a time thing. You never know when you're going to hit the right person at the right time. So getting in front of them before Christmas, that's my mission this week, is to invite everybody to that.
Yeah, I did that as well. Something I also just thought of is like what worked really well for me last year, and what Kat and I just figured out while we were talking, was sending voice message invites to people. And you can now do it on Instagram. So you'll see there's a little microphone there, so you can send a voice. But what I did last year during this time is I literally voice messaged every single challenger that I've ever had that like I actually signed up. It wasn't like a customer lead. And I just said, hey, like I know that you've had goals in the past. I know that we got you in the group, and maybe like, you didn't follow through, you didn't stick with it. I feel like it's just as much my fault as it is yours. I'd love to help you get to those goals. I have this awesome group coming up. Do you have any interest? So that's what I would send to those people. And then I would send out a regular invite to people that I hadn't talked to ever before, a voice message. Again, that was just like, by the way, once you voice message, so I used to do this to myself, and then I would just put like the topic of what each voice message was, like in my own messenger. You can just hit the arrow, the box with the arrow, and you can send that off to like fucking everybody, like individually. So literally they're all getting voice messages from you, and it's faster than even copy paste or text replacement. And I would just be like, hey, like, I'm not sure if you've seen my post, but like, I totally would love to have you in this group with me. I'm running it with a bunch of girls who have like, goals for the holiday, yada, yada, yada. I would send it to myself, then I would send it to them. And they like, people are taken off guard when they get like an actual voice message from you, because it puts you as a human, and it's not just like, oh, they're just copying and pasting this message to everybody. And then, so I did that. I also did it with any of my inactive coaches. So that's another idea for you guys too. Like voice message them instead of just texting them that they could do it. Something about hearing that excitement in your voice and like the trust there. And then the other thing that I did? Oh, and this is something that like you guys we do, but like I don't think we do enough of is that like I shared a lot when I would get messages from people that told me that they were doing well in the groups. I shared a lot when people said that they'd lost 2 pounds or that they were feeling good. I would share screenshots from the group of people saying things. I would specifically ask polls in the group to get people to like answer questions in a way that I could like take a screenshot of that and share it in my stories to be like, look, everybody's not hungry in this group. Like, you know what I mean? Or like whatever it might be. Then I also, any single time anybody would sign up with me, I would go ahead and I would take a screenshot, throw it up on social media and be like, she's in, again, building that FOMO. And then I would also create a list that just said like, this person's in and this person's in, and I would keep adding them like you next. And it just built like that momentum of people wanting in the group too, because they were seeing other people do it. So keep that in mind as well, just to like share everything you can, like share all of those teeny tiny little wins, because it's going to help somebody else make that decision. And the voice messages are key. Like they worked really, really well for me last year. I think that's all I have. All right, kids. Yes, 2 minutes left of this call. We are done within the 30 minutes. That was quick, to the point. Hopefully it was helpful. Go get to work. Peace.